Noting is simply just saying out loud, being aware of the things that we experience moment to moment. That's all. So if a thought comes, we say thinking. If a sensation comes, like if you have an itch, we say not itching, but sensing. We're just sensing something in the body. So we don't have to be specific and break it down into the story of what anything is. We just notice that there's a sensation is happening. So we're sensing. If a feeling comes up, we don't have to say what kind of feeling it is. We just notice that feeling is happening in this moment, that there is a feeling. So we're aware, we're experiencing feeling, we're experiencing sensing, we're experiencing thinking, we're experiencing, if we're looking, we might be experiencing seeing. If a sound comes, we're experiencing hearing. Thinking is the most powerful transformative thing that happens when we do this, because ordinarily when we're thinking, we're creating a story, right? We're just drawn into a story. Then we're lost in thinking. So this is a great antidote to that, because instead of doing this, we're just saying thinking. And if we start getting drawn into a story, we say thinking again. So if the story happens, we don't go into what the story is, we just say thinking. And if more thoughts are coming and we're stuck in thinking, we just say thinking, thinking, thinking. So this helps us not get drawn into the story, because we don't have to say, I'm thinking about, what I'm going to have for dinner. I'm thinking about a fire engine that just went by. We just say thinking. So this is a wonderful practice to do. It's very, very simple, but it's actually quite profound. The effect that it has on us is quite profound, because we are noticing what we're experiencing as an experiencer, not as someone who's lost in the experience, but somebody who is experiencing. Oh, I'm in a mute. Okay. Oh, and some other people came too. Let me make sure. Good. Okay. Everybody's muted. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we'll do that. Okay. And so you can say this out loud to yourself. It's helpful to say it out loud because it kind of puts that's more of an incentive. I'm saying this out loud, so I'm really making a statement. This is what's happening in this moment. Thinking, sensing, feeling. This is what's happening in this moment. Hearing. And it's good to do it with the eyes closed too. We're just much more aware of what's happening inside us, what our experiences are. Thinking. Hearing. Hearing. Sensing. Breathing. Hearing. Sensing. Feeling. expanding. Pay attention to whatever you're experiencing. It doesn't have to be what I'm experiencing. It's your experience. Expanding. Seeing. A lot of freedom comes in just this simple practice of simply acknowledging what your experiences are moment by moment and simplifying them, not making it so complicated. Just thinking, just feeling, just sensing. Often we feel a sense of expansion and more space simply by doing this. This is a way of taking off the conditioning, the limitations that we put on ourselves by simply being aware of what's happening in this moment. Right in this moment, what am I experiencing? It doesn't matter what it is, just the noting of what the experience is. Whatever that experiencing is perfect. It doesn't matter what it is. We're just aware that this now, this experience now, and you may notice as you do this that at a certain point you become quiet. You kind of experience everything at once, and you don't want to separate out thinking or feeling or hearing. It just sort of, there's an all embracing experience of presence. This may happen. It often does. If not, that's also fine because you're just experiencing what you're experiencing. That's the important thing. That's what the practice is. Not to get anywhere, just to be aware of the moment to moment experiences that you're always having. Only now we're putting our attention on them in a conscious way. We're not just being led by them, but we're noting them, we're noticing them. So when you hear my voice, it's hearing. If you think about what I'm saying, it's thinking. If a sensation comes, it's sensing. That's all. If you try to remember what I'm saying, it's thinking. That's all. This is what's happening in this moment. This is being present to this moment. When you feel yourself getting quieter and the experiences seem to be one, just experiencing, that's very present. That's an experience of presence. Hearing. You may even have an experience of space in between my words, and space that contains all experiences. This also helps us be present, to be aware of space. It gives us a feeling of expanding when we're aware of space. It can be very peaceful to do this practice. It can bring us to a space of great peace, stillness. And if we become distracted and pulled into one of the experiences, we can just say, again, thinking or feeling or sensing or hearing. And we realize again that that's what the experience is. That's what we're doing. We don't need to get lost in the stories. We don't need to get pulled around like a puppet on a string. This thing that experiences has some consciousness, has some awareness. It doesn't really have to get pulled around like this. It can simply be aware of what's happening, of what the experiences are. And this gives us a kind of sovereignty and peace. So when we do this for a while, it leads very naturally into something else. Awareness. Because we are aware of the thinking, of the hearing, of the feeling, of the sensing. We're aware of this. And we are what is aware. We're even aware of the one who is experiencing this. The body, mind, we're aware of this too. I am aware of the experience of thinking, of seeing, of hearing, of feeling, of sensing. I'm aware of all of this. Or it couldn't exist. And I am what is aware. I am the awareness itself.